Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, some drug users too late for St. Giles. Lawyer faces second drug charge. And illegal surveyors continue to lie to public.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Drug abusers with serious addiction problems who are late in presenting themselves to St. Giles Hospital for treatment are difficult to cure. This concern has been raised by Acting Superintendent Dr. Kieran Gatewood, adding that sometimes it is too late as the damage is already done. Akosita Tale reports there's an increasing number of people presenting themselves at the hospital due to excessive use of methamphetamine or ice.
Some drug addicts are being referred to the St. Giles Hospital at a very late and serious stage in their addiction.
We can say these are the extremes. Like they present to St. Giles when they are very sick, not in initial stages. Right? When they are very sick, they become very aggressive and violent, and then only they come to St. Giles. So we can say these are the very tip of iceberg, as such. And there are many there in the community which may not have come to us so far.
Dr. Kieran Gatewood confirms that last year alone, 27 patients who had succumbed to drug use were admitted. Patients are not only admitted due to mental illness, but for paranoia, hallucinations, as well as repetitive behavior like compulsive cleaning and grooming.
Also, they have obsessive scratching of skin when they use meth. They feel that their insects are crawling under their skin, and they keep scratching in this. Not only that, they can also develop dental problems. They can have convulsions, we call it seizures or epilepsy. They can have change in their brain structure, and that is permanent damage. Once the brain is damaged, there is no cure to that.
In some very extreme cases, the excessive use of ice can lead to stroke, heart attack, and even death, prompting a call to families of drug abusers to find help for addicts as quickly as possible. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
Lawyer Shazran Abdul Latif, who is already facing drug-related charges, was this afternoon granted bail by the Suva Magistrates Court for a new offence. He is charged with 1 count of unlawful possession of illicit drugs. Rachel Nath was in court and filed this report.
At the time of his arrest, he was on bail for alleged possession of methamphetamine. In the latest incident, it is alleged that the lawyer was found in possession of 1.2 grams of marijuana on Saturday in Rewanga, Suva. Prosecution objected to bail on the grounds that Latif has a similar case pending before the courts where he was granted bail and has re-offended, which is likely to happen again if he is released on bail. The defense counsel said the previous bail conditions did not state for Latif not to re-offend as a condition. The defense counsel said the latest amount found does not hold a custodial sentence and added that there was a third party who had told police that the marijuana found was his and not Latif's. The court acknowledges that Latif's charge is only an allegation and granted bail. The matter will be recalled on September 4th. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
The Lands Ministry has been questioned why they do not have any specialised department to carry out background checks on foreign investors. Public Accounts Committee member Ratunaingama Lalambalavu posed the question when the Permanent Secretary for Lands, Malakai Finau, informed them that they rely on information provided by Investment Fiji about foreign investment. Ali Kimbia with the story.
The Permanent Secretary for Lands told the Public Accounts Committee that foreign investors are screened by Investment Fiji and the Itoke Lands Trust Board.
Liaise with Investment Fiji, because that's the first door of entry for investors. They come into register so that they can check on their financials, etc.
You as a leasing agency now, don't you feel that it's prudent that you have this in your SOP so as to ensure that the interest of all is protected here?
FBC News then sought clarification from Malakai Finau after the presentation regarding the issue.
We do not really want to duplicate it. It would be a waste of resources to have another agency within us when there are existing agencies that are better resourced and then have expertise and experts in this field.
Finau says they always ensure foreign investors' information are thoroughly checked before the green light is given to them to carry out investment. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Concerns continue to be raised about the increasing number of unregistered surveyors going around and lying to people. Fiji Institute of Surveyors President Pasirio Samisoni highlighted this during the second Global Surveyors Day in Suva. Kritika Kumar reports.
Pasirio Samisoni says they've received numerous complaints about unregistered surveyors which affect their day-to-day operation.
There are 70 graduates that are out there, and they're the ones that are floating around, knows how to do the work. Maybe these are the ones that are actually practicing and doing unethical work out there.
He says so far the institute has suspended 3 surveyors for unethical practices and their directors are dealing with other cases.
Well, two directors of a company had faced the board regarding all this unethical practices. So the board has suspended the surveyor until they rectify the problem.
Meanwhile, the Lands Minister says surveyors are to always maintain professionalism and ethical work standards.
Explore public-private partnership and cooperation within your profession for sustainability and increased contribution to the communities and to economic development.
Government urges qualified young surveyors to register with the Surveyors Registration Board. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Over $1.6 million has so far been paid out as compensation to victims of motor vehicle accidents since January 2018. A consultation by the Accident Compensation Commission of Fiji over the weekend has heard that over $500,000 more is expected to be paid out in the next few weeks. Eleanor Rangaiviu has more.
The Accident Compensation Commission of Fiji has so far received 378 applications for motor vehicle accident compensation from across the country. Of these, 313 applications are for injuries and 65 for deaths.
And we've approved 3 for injuries and 22 for death. So 25 we've approved together. So we've paid out in excess of $1.6 million in 1 year so far.
ACCF CEO Pervez Akbar says applications for injuries are still pending as a whole person impairment assessment is done before any compensation is paid out.
So they decide how much your whole body has been affected by your injury. That assessment, there's a waiting period for that assessment. Basically, that waiting period varies. It could be 10 months, it could be 18 months.
From this year, the ACCF has also started paying compensation for workplace and school injuries and deaths under its no-fault scheme. So far, ACCF has received 34 applications for compensation for workplace accidents and 6 applications for school injuries and 1 application for a death in school. The ACCF has approved 8 more motor vehicle death compensation applications and 1 more motor vehicle injury compensation, which will be paid out in the next couple of weeks. 313 applications are still being processed. Eleanor Rangaiviu, FBC News.
Still to come, manufacturers concerned over high absentee rate. And Lautoka residents promised minimal water disruption during project. Details after the break.
Nambula FM, nambandua ya nasere.
Hoya uvasit sai se lambasa, ya ndo talita ina warong nambula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Gua da tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka. Talita kina na warong nambula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Wana tuma nambula FM nambandua ya nasere maluan.
Na vengo fane na tao nyongo singa toka. Kita ndo talita kana Bula FM nambandua ya nasere.
Bula FM nambandua.
The clothing, textile and footwear industry is concerned with the high rate of absenteeism amongst their workers. TCF Industry Council President Michael Taula says this isn't a very good sign because productivity is affected. Catherine Krishna reports.
The textile, clothing and footwear industry says they're serious about getting the industry on track, but they need to find the root cause of absenteeism and ensure it's ironed out.
The trained workforce we had, which I may add, is our biggest asset. But we need to maintain that asset, and we need to work with our employees and make sure that these high absentee rates that we have on particularly Mondays need to be addressed.
Michael Towler revealed that some of the problems they faced are orders aren't finished on schedule, and in some cases Fiji's failed to attract potential export markets.
We're finding it harder and harder to service those clients. Those clients look to take their business somewhere else, and you know, places like Sri Lanka and Bangladesh are getting business that should be in Fiji.
Employment Minister Parveen Kumar says his ministry is working with the council and relevant stakeholders to ensure the industry is not affected.
We can discuss, resolve, and find reason means how we as government and you people as employees can work together so that every worker can go home happy.
More than 7,000 Fijians are currently employed in the TCF industry, of which 85% of the employers are women. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
2 men facing murder charges appeared before the Suva High Court this morning. Apisai Lomani and Leone Naisake are alleged to have caused the death of Felipe Loloma in Waililia Farm in Kandavu. The incident happened on Boxing Day last year, where the two are alleged to have engaged in reckless assault, resulting in Loloma's death. Both pleaded not guilty and are free on bail. The Defence Counsel sought 7 days to file information after receiving the results of Loloma's post-mortem, and the case has been adjourned for mention to April 15th. Meanwhile, Lomani is also charged with 1 count of unlawful cultivation of illicit drugs. The Water Authority held a public consultation in Lautoka to inform the residents about the Nathambua wastewater desludging and odour control project. During the consultation, Wastewater West Team leader Entesh Pemal spoke about the importance of the work and the need for it to be carried out. Kritika Kumar reports.
Enketesh Perumal says the project is being contracted to Intergroup Limited and is expected to take place for 6 to 12 months. He adds they have been assured by the contractors there will be minimum disturbance to the residents.
The last discharge was done in about 25 years back. So there's a lot of sludge in that, and also we have our environment monitoring. There will be a lot of strict monitoring of this project.
Meanwhile, one of the residents says the project is timely as the current system is outdated.
Put us forward and it's very good. In fact, our system here is backdated. I say it's out of date. So now we have one more on to another step.
Desludging works are also earmarked to take place at the Olosara Wastewater Treatment Plant in Singatoka and at the Navakai Wastewater Treatment Plant in Nandi. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Fiji's economic base depends on the tourism, fishing and agricultural sectors, which rely on an environment free of waste and pollution. At a UN Environment Assembly in Nairobi, Kenya, Permanent Secretary for Environment Joshua Wycliffe stressed that Fiji seeks to protect these sectors through innovating partnership models. Kelly Vavala reports.
President of the 4th session.
Fiji is conscious of the integral role played by the natural environment in its progress and has put in place strategic measures towards achieving sustainable economic development.
Well, a lot of efforts are being put in the national level. Fiji, like the rest of the Pacific, is at the receiving end of the transboundary marine plastic pollution that we see today. This situation arises mostly from the careless behavioral patterns displayed globally.
PS Joshua Wycliffe also drew attention to marine plastic pollution, which threatens the ecological integrity of Fiji's oceans.
Fiji calls for a legally binding global instrument with tangible targets that includes monitoring and reporting mechanisms. This instrument would go a long way in combating the marine litter and pollution issue and offer a global response.
Commonwealth Clean Oceans Alliance Special Representative Stephen Harris says if this is not combated immediately, then the future of all Fijians remain bleak.
A bit of a race to try to make sure that when the consumption of plastic by the developing world approaches that of the Western world, there will be infrastructure and solutions for dealing with it.
Fiji also used the UN platform to extend its condolences to the families and friends of those who lost their lives in the Ethiopian crash en route to the assembly 2 weeks ago. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Turning overseas, New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has announced a royal commission on inquiry into the Christchurch terror attack. Coming up in sports later with Jamie, decision-making is vital for Fiji Sevens ahead of Hong Kong Sevens Sitsarevi. But first, Rachel has finally returned with business.
Thanks, Jackie. It's great to be back. Good evening, and coming up after the break, new partnership to increase outreach in communities and schools. And in growing Fiji, around 100 bridges need maintenance. Stay with us.
Voila, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singatoka. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Yeni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission has partnered with Projects Abroad Fiji to develop robust engagement projects to increase awareness of consumer rights and responsibilities. International volunteers with expertise in community outreach will engage in awareness programs with the assistance of the FCCC. The FCCC will provide guidance to the volunteers in areas requiring awareness, training them in the information to be shared, and provide promotional materials and other assistance as required. Projects Abroad Fiji is a volunteer facilitating organization helping engage volunteers in the communities. The FCCC says increased awareness will allow them to reach people otherwise unable to access their services. And we now join Sinifa with the latest from the exchange market.
A quick look at trading on the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. 8 of the listed stocks were traded, noting various share price movements. Amalgamated Telecom Holdings Limited shares increased by 8 cents, ending the week at $3.28. Fiji Television Limited shares closed the week at $3, noting an increase of 62 cents. RB Patel Group Limited shares rose by 21 cents and closed the week at a share price of $6.76. Fijian Holdings Limited shares were up 20 cents to close at $1.95, and BSP Convertible Notes Limited shares increased by $1.55 and ended the week at a share price of $16. Subsequent to the various share price changes, the overall market capitalization increased by 3.4% and ended the week at $3.52 billion. That's the latest from our local stock market, Vinaka.
Thanks, Anifa. Looking at today's foreign exchange rates, the Fiji dollar rose against the Chinese yuan, the Aussie dollar and the euro, but slipped slightly against the other currencies we cover. Onto the commodities market, crude oil prices continue to ease, dropping to $58.44 per barrel. Gold was on the rise to $1,314 per ounce, and silver closed lower at $15.43 per ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, about 100 bridges around the country need maintenance. This has been confirmed by the Infrastructure Minister, Choneo Samate, after receiving requests from the Yalovo villagers in Namosi to build bridge across the Singatoka River. Sanyani Boiler reports.
Yalovo villagers want a bridge across the river for easy access, as it now takes hours for villagers to get to Singatoka town. Usamate says he will look into their request.
17 of these are these are existing bridges. 17 of these will be proposed for the next budget, and we'll have to look at this request together with all of the other requests to see which one is a priority one and see how we can put that into the budget, given the resources that we do have.
While visiting the villages, Health Minister Dr. Iferemi Wangainambete said they're also looking at reopening the Yalovo nursing station as the nearest health center is 25 kilometers away.
The nearest health center from here is in Raiba, which is about 25 kilometers away. We used to have a nursing station at Yalabo, but that had since closed, so we're looking at opening that, just making sure that we have access to healthcare on this side of the river. When the Singatoka River is flooded, it's very difficult to cross.
The Health Ministry is also working with the Waterways Ministry on the clearance of drains around Yalabo village to avoid the spread of disease in the area. Roads near the village will also be a major focus for the ministry, as most of the students walk 15 kilometers to school daily. Sainian Imboila, FBC News.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thanks and good evening in sports tonight. Nasoko still in doubt for Hong Kong Sevens. And Warriors suffer shocking defeat in NRL. This and more after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fiji Airways Sevens coach Gareth Baber is hoping Kalyani Nasoko will recover from a knee injury in time for the Hong Kong and Singapore Sevens next month. Baber says Nasoko has played a vital role in the national squad this season and will be crucial in Fiji's bid for a 5th straight Hong Kong Sevens title. Korei Tandolala reports.
Players need to get enough rest and not run the risk of sustaining any major injuries, as National Sevens coach.
Kali similarly, Kali hasn't, he's pushed himself in terms of his rehab, as we call it. He'll continue to do that, but I'm hopeful that if not Hong Kong, then possibly Singapore. But again, we keep working on him. He's a great man, he's a great leader, and I want him in my team.
Mesulame Kunavula has joined the training squad and will be up for selection in the next leg of the 7th series.
Messi's been in the training squad, came back from Edinburgh on Sunday and joined in with us straight away. So that was the agreement when he went, that he would come back and be in the training straight away. So he's part of the training squad that's worked this week.
The Fiji Sevens side is pooled with Australia, New Zealand and Kenya for the Hong Kong Sevens, which begins next Friday. Korei Tandolala, FBC Sports.
Rugby legend Waisale Serevi says Fiji still stands a good chance of winning the World 7 Series title. Serevi believes while poor decision-making has let the team down on occasion, the squad is doing well and working hard to improve. He adds a good outing in Hong Kong could be a turning point in their World Series campaign.
Maybe decision-making, a couple of decision-making things that didn't go well with the Fijian boys. I know that Gareth Baber has been working hard with the boys, and it's not the end of the road for them. It's halfway through. We have 4 more tournaments left, and we are just a couple of points away from the leaders. And I believe if they regroup for Hong Kong and win the Hong Kong Sevens, who knows, they might be leading the series again after the Hong Kong Sevens.
Vodafone Fiji football coach Christophe Gamel was a happy man following the national side's first back-to-back international friendly win under his guidance. The 1-0 win over Mauritius yesterday followed a 3-0 defeat of New Caledonia last week and also marked Fiji football's first victory over an African national side. Meli Tavanga reports.
Ever since Christophe Gamel joined the national football side, he hasn't won any back-to-back international friendlies, but yesterday marked a new era.
I'm really happy for the boys because for the first time we won 2 consecutive league games, and it's very important for the future. These boys give all their heart. They really have worked hard under Mila for the 15 days.
Not only did they win against them, but they will definitely gain points in the FIFA World Rankings, as both the teams are ranked higher than Fiji.
Train them like pro. and you can see that they can do wonder in a few days, and they have not a big background of game, this team. So, which is good. We can, and we didn't play since last September. So I have good information of the performance of the boy.
Star striker Ray Krishna says they displayed good organization and discipline and restricted their opponents to counter-attacking moves.
The coach told us to keep the shape, and that's what we did. You know, we had to be patient, and when we had the ball, we had to keep it. And yeah, we had one chance and we equalized. So, but the credit goes to the team. You know, we kept the shape.
Meanwhile, Krishna returns to New Zealand this morning to join the Wellington Phoenix A-League match against Newcastle Jets on Saturday. Meli Tabanga, FBC Sports.
Former flying Fijian Timothy Nangusa scored a try to help Montpellier defeat Pau 24-15 in their French top 14 rugby match over the weekend. Montpellier has been woefully out of form in the second half of the season, but they backed up last weekend's confidence-boosting victory over Toulon with a hard-fought triumph over Pau yesterday. Meli Tabanga has more.
After leading 7-0 in the first half, Timothy Nangusa went over the try line in the 22nd minute to extend their lead 14-0. Watisoni Voltu then replied for Pau in the first spell extra time to narrow the scoreline 12-21 before the breather. Meanwhile, Semiron Randra's try for the Bodo Begle was not enough to match up Rising 92 as they were downed 45-27 this morning. After round 20 of the competition, Toulouse extends its lead in its standings with 76 points, followed by Clermont with 69, while Lyon rounds off top 3 with 56. Meli Tabanga, FBC Sports.
The Queensland Reds prevailed despite the Brisbane Heat to notch a valuable bonus point win over Super Rugby Conference rivals the Brumbies. The Reds dominated the first half and led 10-0. A try from Fiji-born Brumbies winger Henry Spate early in the second stanza was not enough to mount a comeback, with the Reds galloping away to a 36-14 victory. Warriors coach Stephen Kearney has warned his players against complacency after being thumped by the Wests Tigers. The Kiwi outfit was completely played off the field in Sydney last night. Veteran Robbie Farah laid on 3 try assists and one for himself to destroy the Warriors. Back-to-back intercept tries kept Parramatta on their resurrection path as the Eels continued their unbeaten start to the NRL over the unlucky Bulldogs yesterday. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later with weather and in new media. What exactly does the new Apple iPad mini offer? Find out after the break.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
New media tonight, living with the smaller pencil-equipped iPad. Is it more phone or tablet? Who is the new iPad mini for exactly? It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. Hope your weekend was fabulous despite the rain. The reason for these showers is a low pressure system and we are still under a heavy rain warning. Now taking a look in the west, quite mild rain was active here. Eastwards from Pakhawa to Suva, it turned gloomy with heavy showers indicated for tonight. And up north, another rainy day here. At sea, easterly winds 20 to 30 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 10:24 p.m. and low tide at 4:26 a.m. Sunrise at 6:11. For tomorrow, we can expect more showers which may turn heavier at times with possible thunderstorms. Tomorrow's temps, most centers will have overnight low of 22, followed by a high of 30 degrees. And looking further on to Wednesday, we are most likely to continue with gloomy conditions followed by showers. So sip on that warm cup of tea and enjoy the cool weather. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji on Pulse tonight, we asked, should there be more support for Special Olympians in Fiji?
Yeah, I think they should be given more assistance because they're representing Fiji.
A human being, a sick person or honest person, or people can walk, everything.
More assistance should be given to our Fiji team because they finish on top of New Zealand.
I think they should be assisted because they have a lot of talent that can be further developed.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, some drug users too late for St. Giles, lawyer faces second drug charge, and illegal surveyors continue to lie to public. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment, last week we had asked, will you pledge to call out hate and racist speech on social media? 61% said no. This week we're asking, should motorists who continue to break road rules have their license suspended? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day is a tropical flower sent in by Anush Rohit Nand from Nandi. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma, ngo ngai nakas on do rong nam Bula FM, namban do ay na sere.
Hoya o basit sai sa Lambasa, ya on do talita na warong nam Bula FM namban do ay na sere.
Guya do kimeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong nam Bula FM, namban do ay na sere.
Wana tunga nam Bula FM, namban do ay na sere nawaluan.
Na vengo fane na tao no ngo singa toka, kita do talita kana Bula FM namban do ay na sere.
Bula FM namban do ay na sere.